All right, thank you very much. So as you said, my name is Vetrivel Dhagumudi. I'm the Global Water Program Leader for Kimberly Clark. And I would like to thank the AIWW Water Week committee members to give us an opportunity to come talk about what the business thinks about water and how excited I am here today to learn about the policymakers and also the other peers are doing for water. So, not sure how many of you know about Kimberly Clark, so I thought I'll share some facts about Kimberly Clark. Kimberly Clark makes personal care products and professional care products, more likely intimate products which people use like Kleenex. And we're about 143 years old, and we operate in 35 countries and sell our products in about 175 countries. Worldwide, we have about 43,000 employees, and nearly 25% of the people use our products every day. And Kimberly Clark also has a $5 billion brands, Huggies, Scott, Kleenex, Cottonelle, and Kotex. And I assume everyone in this room must have exposure to this product some way or other. In 2014, we have a net sales of $19.7 billion. So the whole conference is about water. Let's talk about water, what Kimberly Clark does for water, and I'm going to just share you about the Sustainability 2015 water goals. At the beginning of 2010, we set ourselves an aspirational goal to reduce enterprise-wide water usage by 25% against the 2010 baseline. We also set ourselves a goal to replenish 2 billion gallons of water so that we could be as close as water neutral. And we're in November 2015, so let me talk about our progress. We've achieved 26.1% reduction till date, and also have replenished more than 2 billion gallons of water to the communities. So how do we actually get these things done? So I'm gonna give you brief highlights. So we implemented some of the two major water recycling projects, and we also invested into a brand new wastewater treatment plant, and also partnered with nonprofit organizations like World Resource Institute, Water for People, and the Nature Conservancy. And if you look at the three different areas, it's important for us that water is the lifeblood of a paper-making process. Without water, we cannot make paper. And the paper machine is a dehydrating or drying machine. So you need to increase the efficiency of the machine, and the only way you could increase efficiency is by recycling. A lot of times, paper industry was very, very old, and we like to do not take the risk to invent into new wastewater treatment technologies. So we actually took some bold decisions to look into some modern technologies, and we actually invested in one of the state-of-the-art facility down in London. So in the partnership with the nonprofit organization, it's very important for us to also get an explanation of how others are doing and what we need to be doing about it too. So it's November 2015, and we have one more month to complete. So what's next for Kimberly Clark? So it's Sustainability 2022. And I would like to share our new mission statement. At Kimberly Clark, everything we do from helping communities to caring for the planet is connected with a mission to lead the world in essentials for a better life. With that, I'm also like to share that throughout our history, we have always connected long-term business growth with essential social and environmental needs, and we will continue to do so as we approach our 150-year anniversary in 2022. So that tells you that our Sustainability 2022 is actually corresponds with their 150-year anniversary. So it's a big task. So what do we do next? We've done 25% water reduction, but we chose the risk-led targeted approach for water goals because historically we always developed water goals in a global approach. You know, we call it peanut butter spread. You do a 25% reduction worldwide, and you actually go ahead and put programs to achieve it. But we also know water is a global challenge, but it's very much a local issue. And being a pulp and paper industry, which is a water-rich industry, we always locate our facilities close to water-rich areas. So that means that not all KC facilities are located in the water-stressed region. So having a global goal, it's very hard for us to define an economic benefit on water recycling projects. So it makes it simple. We can't boil the ocean, so we need to go where the risk and opportunities are first. So we started working on this last couple years very, very aggressively to start developing our goals. We took a 3-step process to actually identify our goals. The first process, assessment, we partnered with the World Resource Institute to actually identify water-stressed regions across the globe using their Aquatech tool. And then we combinedly rolled out a mill-specific questionnaire, and then that was actually sent out globally. In the evaluation phase, once we received all the questionnaire answers, we then actually used a specific criteria. That is, one is the internal freshwater treatment cost, the wastewater treatment cost, and the regulatory level compliances, and seasonal variability, flooding, and droughts, and etc. And all of these criteria were then actually combined to actually generate a unique water scarcity index. And in the identification process, we then use that water scarcity index to actually rate all our facilities across the globe to see which facility actually is in the high water stress region where we need to do some work. And this is the slide. I think I like this slide a lot because water, I think everybody here knows about water. When you talk to the business leader, people don't know water, and it's the reality. So for you to really explain to somebody about water who doesn't have connection to it, it's important. The best way of communication is a visual management communication. So this slide shows, it's actually generated from the Aquatech water tool, shows the global water stress region and shows all our facilities on the map. This also helps us to plan what we need to do now and what we need to do tomorrow for future expansions. So now that I told you how we actually identified our water areas, so let's talk about what we're going to do in 2022. We want to improve water efficiency in these 10 identified high water stress areas. By doing this, we will actually prevent operational crisis, that is reduction of production loss time, that is reduce risk to operations and continue to sustain and operate. And we also want to focus our investments in recycling and reuse at the specific facility located in the high water stress region first. However, we still want to continuously improve at the facilities outside the water stress region by sharing best practices from the most efficient water facilities to the other facilities so that as a company we can increase our overall operating efficiency. So I'm talking about what we do within our boundaries of Circle. So let's talk about, I think the minister just talked about safe sanitation, and as a company, we're all along in the toilet business for the last 150 years with our brands like Cottonelle and Kotex and Andrex. So we really understand the toilet issue. So when we actually say that lead the world in essentials for better life, there's a fundamental question to be asked within ourselves: what is essential? So the dignity of people is essential, and yet 1 billion people in the world do not have access to a toilet at all. And what do we do about it? I think we have the power to do something positive, and we also think that we can make some changes to make the world a better place. So we think big and think beyond our boundaries, and we believe in the power of essentials. And we are the founding members of the Toilet Board organization, and with our programs like Toilets Change Life, we will be bringing access to clean sanitation and improved child wellness and empowerment and women and girls for 25 million by 2022. And this is something that's very important to do. So this picture talks about water scarcity. I think it's the whole concept of this conference probably talks about water scarcity. What do? It's more than the business. We know that 633 million people do not have access to safe drinking water. And as the minister said, the World Economic Forum has announced early this year that the water is the #1 risk if impact to society. So what are we all doing about it? There is a common goal for all of us in this room to work together to actually solve the water problem. So is it possible? Can we all solve the problem? I think in the past, what the Amsterdam International Water Week Conference brings is that the business doesn't talk to the policymakers or the nonprofits. So it's important for all of us to actually work together to solve this problem, because water scarcity is directly connected to the economic growth. And from the business side of it, we have big challenges because it's not easy for us to justify a water project. It's very difficult for us to have a payback. So I am excited myself to be here at this conference to actually understand what does this water circular economy means. How do you actually really see the value and the benefits of water? Because if you just use the water payback as water in and water out, you're just using pump cost and delivery cost. But it is not the real cost of water. So we are here to share our best practices, what we have done so far. But I also challenge everybody in this audience to actually ask your peers and your friends here to know how we can actually see the benefits of water and have solved the water problem together. There are impactful and existing solutions available to solve the water problem. And if you think back from 1960 to today, there are a lot more people have access to safe drinking water. So we're making some good progress, but I think it's done in a silo. We need to work together to make this progress together so we could all solve the water problem. Thank you very much.